I was injured on Labor Day weekend, 2011. We were coming home from a friend's house from dinner, and a car hit us going through the intersection. We were thrown kitty corner across the intersection and smashed into a light pole, and our car was essentially accordioned. I can still smell that strong smell of blood. I couldn't move. I heard my husband groaning. I was sure he was dying. I was sure I was dying. I couldn't move my arms, my legs, my head. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was happening. And then at some point I heard my son say, "Mom, I think I'm okay." But I couldn't turn my head to look at him or see where he was. And I just said, "Sam, take my purse and take care of your little brother." And that's the last thing I remember. When I got to the hospital, my neck was broken in 2 places. My spinal cord was severed, my right arm was shattered. I had a lot of injuries. I had a 9-hour surgery where they put 10 levels of metal rods and plates to rebuild my neck and my back. And they fitted a 15-pound metal halo into my skull. It was sort of on both sides of my skull screwed in, and then it screwed in at the bottom to keep my neck and back stabilized. That was very painful because your head is suspended in the bars. You're digging into your head and your back. I would say about a week or so after being in the hospital, the doctors came to me and said, "You're a quadriplegic." I remember they said, "You're paralyzed from the neck down. You'll never do anything you used to do again. You'll probably never walk again. Very few people with your injury do. We're recommending that you be transferred to a nursing home because you won't be able to do rehab, and there's no point." You know, an accident is just that, right? It's an accident. Nobody's planned for it. You never think it's going to happen to you. But when it does, your life is devastated and everything is taken from you. And you learn to lean on family and friends, and you learn that that's okay. There's no shame in leaning on family and friends. I was so lucky and blessed to have amazing family. My parents, my sisters, my husband, my kids, so many friends rallied to help us. And we had a friend who told us, "You need to get to Casa Colina." I was brought by, ambulance, stretcher to Casa Colina, arrived in my halo, in my wheelchair. I couldn't do anything. And they took care of me medically, they took care of me physically. I needed 24/7 care, but it was like they didn't see the halo, they didn't see the injury. I'll never forget being wheeled into Dr. Patterson's clinic the first time I met him, and he asked me, to move my foot or my toe, and it was pretty imperceptible to me, but he just got a big smile on his face and said, "You stick with us, you're gonna do great. You're gonna have to work hard, but you're gonna do great." And he was the first person since my accident that gave me hope. And it was absolutely pivotal.
My understanding was neurosurgeons from the hospital she came to told her she'll never walk again. So, Joanne was not very optimistic about what her recovery would be. But when I did my physical exam, it was quite different than what was documented on the paper. And so immediately I thought, well, this is great. She's going to have a good outcome. We just need to fulfill it.
It was grueling and difficult. It was about 9 to 3 every day. Every hour was something different. You had a schedule. They pushed you so hard, and they took what they did so seriously, but they always saw you as a person. They always saw you as somebody with a life, and they gave you so much dignity, and they wanted you to get to the goals that you set for yourself, and they would do anything to help you do that.
I think Joanne has a perfect combination of the things that one needs to succeed as much as they can in rehab, right? She had the attitude, that positive attitude of like, hey, I was dealt this bad deck of cards, but I'm gonna get all my aces out to whatever degree I can. And I also think she was determined. No matter what someone was gonna say to her, she was gonna do as much as she could. And if she didn't get back to 100%, she was willing to accept that. But she was working so hard to get to, if it was 99.5, she was gonna get there.
She never faltered in her commitment to get back to her function as a mother, as a wife, that she battles every day, and she battles it with a great attitude. And I think that when she's in a support group, I know that other patients of mine have come up and said, wow, Joanne's an inspiration for me. She talks so highly of Casa Colina. I can let you know that, I look up to her. So I think she has become, a role model, an influencer for other people's journey through their recovery from spinal cord injury.
I think when I think of courage, I think of course, pushing as hard as you can to get as functional as possible. But I also think of acceptance. And I think that acceptance when you have an injury it's not resignation, but it's a willingness to accept your limitations and work with them and just try to find as much joy as you can every day. And one of the things that gives me a lot of satisfaction is being able to talk to people who are injured, have a spinal cord injury or some other injury, and they can't see their future. And you really mourn for your past life, But someone said to me, and I like to try to pass it along, you can never get your old life back, but your new life can still be beautiful. And that's what Casa Colina gave to me.